Hello nerds! This is my first YouTube video on the James Cosmo channel, so make sure to subscribe. You read the title, so let's start with why do we balance games? Well, we do it so that the game is fair for everyone. Nobody gets to win if they are not better than their opponents. But James Cosmo, I hear you saying, how could that be bad for a game? Isn't that what we want? Well, yes and no at the same time. The thing is that players want the game to be fair for obvious reasons, but we don't really think what it actually means. Let's take chess for example. In chess, you get a totally fair 1v1. James Cosmo, that is where you are wrong. White has a higher win rate than black. Well, that's true, but we compensate for that in other ways. Topic for another video maybe. So, if your opponent is better than you and they play to win, not to mess around with you noob, then the better player will win every game, leading to them quitting after they lose for the 10th time in a row. Of course, you could try to get better, but most people won't go out of their way to get good. It has to happen organically through the game. But if that's a problem, then why is chess still relevant after all these years? Well, dear imaginary viewer, that is because of the huge player base that it has. If you go on chess.com, make an account and start playing, your opponents will always be at your level, excluding Smurf accounts of course. So the game is fun, since you are not getting completely destroyed every game. So you will play longer, leading to your skill increasing over time. Others grow faster, others not as much. But still, you are having fun, so you keep playing for longer. Also, chess is a 1v1 game, so even with less players you would still find opponents at your skill level. In most other video games though, you get matched with a larger number of people, from 10 players in a game like Counter-Strike all the way up to 100 in a battle royale like Fortnite or PUBG. So you eventually will get matched with someone better than you, meaning that the people who are bad at the game will quit after losing a lot. And the developers are aware of that, in most game studios at least. So this is the point where the issue becomes very dangerous. If a game starts losing people, the devs have to do something about it. So they have some options. Add more content, which most studios can't do that since it takes time and a lot of money and it might not even work. So there has to be a patch of some sort. Alright, how do you decide what to patch? Go to the community. Yes, that's a brilliant idea. We get told what the problems are and how to fix them, plus we get all the praise for listening to the people. No. That sounds like a good idea, but in reality it would slowly kill the game. Here is why. The people who are hurt the most are the nerdiest of nerds. People who get really good at the game, that they know exactly what needs to change in order to make the game as fair as possible. In a healthy game, the vast majority of players are the casuals, which don't bother to share their opinion online because they don't have one, or they don't care to talk about it, or they do and let's be honest, it would suck anyways. So let's imagine that the devs listen to the gamers and now the video game is balanced as the good players immediately destroy the noobs since they can no longer use all that broken stuff that got patched to get some wins, leading to the casual players leaving the game. Now we're left with a game that the vast majority of the player base are the nerds, which are not enough to keep a game running. Slowly, the nerds that lose will quit faster since they used to win almost every game and now they can't even win half of them. And this loop continues to the death of the game. So, if patching the game kills it eventually and we can't keep adding new content, then what? Can we just leave it as is? If we let broken things in the game, better players will complain constantly, more and more, until they quit if not fixed. This puts huge pressure on the devs, and if they finally fix it, the players might come back, some of them at least. But we of course run into the same problem mentioned before. So if not patched, you will have a broken game for casuals only. The thing is that casual players won't spend as much money on the game as the better players. So we keep losing money on the servers and not making nearly as much as we would if we fix the game and let the good players back in. I think that you can see why this is such a mess. I wanted to conclude this video by explaining what you can do to avoid this, but the reality is that you can't. Or at least I couldn't find a way. The only reason games like Fortnite still have a huge player base is that it constantly changes. New players join while old ones leave. Out of curiosity you download it again, play it, have fun, complain about how it was back then and leave once more. While new players that never played the game you did spend money on thousands of cosmetics that the game has to offer which don't even do anything. That is kind of a bad ending for a first video, but I heard that negativity sells more on this platform, so let's see if I'm right. I'm a complete sellout.